In terms of art creation, I always feel the most productive when I'm doing a drawing challenge, whether it be a 30-day challenge or a week-long challenge or just the challenge to draw every day. When I have a challenge, I feel the most consistent with my artwork, and it's honestly when I improve the most. I had the strong urge to do something similar to Inktober this year, but I'm not necessarily an inking black and white girly. At least, not all the time. I can do it here and there, but I have the most fun when I can draw with somewhat amount of creative liberty and use as many colors or mediums as my heart desires. So this last October, I participated in the drawing challenge OC-tober, and combining two different OC drawing prompts, I drew for the past 31 days different illustrations of my original characters. I worked on my world building, my character concept designs, what I want my characters to act and look like, and working on my creativity. Working on creativity and working on things original to me has been a personal art goal of mine for the past few months. And this challenge really helped me out with that. I will say, some of my drawings ended up being digital, but majority ended up being traditional. So this video will be set up into two segments. One being my digital art that I did for this challenge, and another segment being a sketchbook tour-esque portion, where I just go over all of the drawings I made during the month of October. So, let us get into my digital art first, shall we? Let's go, guys. Let's go. OC-tober. If I recall, the prompt for this first day was favorite outfit, and for that prompt, I was trying to work on the clothing design for my character Simon. If you watched my last video, I talked about him a lot, but since this drawing, I plan to further work on his outfit. To me, this outfit doesn't necessarily scream sun to me. So this was one of my initial designs, but know that his outfit is still a work in progress. The prompt for this next day was cooking something, and I had the idea that my OC May, she's very feisty and quick to give up sometimes. So I had the idea that she was trying to bake some muffins, but accidentally turned the oven on too high in attempt to cook them faster, but in turn just burned the muffins. And she's like, I don't understand how this happened. And her sister Marin is trying to comfort her and be like, hey, it's okay. You'll get better, I promise. Kind of to show their dynamic as sisters. And I had canon that May really wanted to make something special for Marin. Maybe it was her birthday or she was celebrating something, but was super disappointed in herself for ruining her surprise for her. But Marin still loved the gesture anyways, and you know, they're super cute. This was one of the only quote-unquote finished drawings I made for this challenge, mainly because I went more crazy with coloring. Lately I've been trying to play around with cell shading, mainly because lately it's been a lot more fun to me. I don't know. But yeah, that was the day 2 prompt for cooking something. They are so silly. The prompt for day 3 was a cozy night in, and I decided to draw my characters Marin and Column, mainly because during this time I was trying to redesign Column. This was mainly the first time I played around with giving him a different design, mainly workshopping his hair and hairstyle. Not necessarily a fan of it. I see now what I have done differently since to make his design something I like more now, but I should still be a little bit nice to this drawing. Because of this drawing, I got closer to where I am now. So for that, I am thankful for this drawing, but at the end of the day, do I really like it? Not particularly. So we're just gonna move on. The prompt for day 4 was angst, and I was mainly working on my character Column again. I had done some traditional sketches of Column in my math notebook that I unironically really liked. So I digitalized 2 of them, and then I drew one digitally for a 3rd sketch. But unironically, I like my traditional ones a lot more. So yeah, just some more planning and ideas surrounding my character Column. I'm not quite sure what the prompt was for this day, or if I even remember which day this was, but I took the opportunity to kind of revisit my character, Bennett. Bennett is the OC that I'm currently the most lost on. It used to be Column, but I feel like now I'm in a better place with this character. So now it's just Bennett that's my biggest workshop OC that I just need to really work on finding what I want his character to be, and then focus his new design around that. This is kind of just me drawing his original design that I had on my old sketchbook of him, but more in my current art style. So I didn't really redesign anything here, but this is more of a starting point and noting on what I should do moving forward with his character. Again, I am not sure which day this drawing is for, but the prompt was another artist's OC. And when thinking of artists that I like or enjoy, the artist Love to Draw Manga came to mind. You guys know her, you guys love her, she has been in the artist YouTube sphere for years, but I decided to draw her OC Carson, mainly because I love his redesign and I love all the ideas that Becca has for his new personality and story, so I just doodled some little pictures of Carson. I think he's my favorite of her characters. I think this drawing was from day 16, but the prompt was something Victorian related, so I drew my characters Marin and Column in Victorian-esque clothing. I wouldn't say they're 100% Victorian, but it's Victorian inspired, and I decided to draw them together because if you know my OC's lore, Marin and Column are the canon couple of all of my characters, and I wanted to draw them dancing. I love dancing, I love dancers, and I looked up a picture on Pinterest of dancing that I could reference, and I put them in that pose, and I think this is really cute, guys. I think they're so cute. If I had more time, I would have polished this drawing more, added more rendering and shading, and maybe even a background, but I kind of just ran out of time. So it's more on the simpler side. But yeah, that was my little guys dancing. And with that, those were all of my digital drawings for OC-tober. Going forth, the rest of my prompts were done traditionally in my sketchbook, so the next portion of the video is going to be sketchbook tour-esque. Enjoy that, and I will hand it over to recording share. Hello everybody, welcome to the sketchbook portion of my OC-tober art. So, let's dive into the OC-tober art, shall we? I'm going to yap in excessive detail, so grab a snack of your choice, and let's dive into this OC-tober art. I'm so excited, guys. I know for a fact that this was the first OC-tober day that I did in my sketchbook. So day 5 was clothing swap. And because you guys know them, you guys love them, it's Simon and Violet, and I wanted to draw them in each other's outfits naturally. And Simon's like, "Mamma mia!" And then Violet's like, "I still find your clothing excessive." Cause, you know, they're so silly, guys. They're so silly, guys. It's the silly guys, bro. I love Simon and Violet. I think this one turned out really funny. I just love them, guys. The next day of OC-tober, day 7 was to draw a child version of your character, or your character when they were younger. So I drew my OC, Marin, but I drew her when she was like my OC May's age. So Marin in the present time of my OC universe is in her early 20s, but in this drawing, this is her in her later teens, like 16, 17-ish. And she's so cute. I love her. I really like this one. I think that one in particular turned out really, really cute. Day 8 was alternate universe. I am a really, really, really big Pokemon fan. Like, if I had to say, like, okay, what's your favorite current, like, fandom hyperfixation? It's Pokemon. I haven't really talked about it much lately in my content, but yes, I am 100% still really, really obsessed with Pokemon. So for alternate universe, I drew my characters as like trainers and what kind of partner I imagine they would have. Violet, I imagine her partner Pokemon would be Noivern. Marin, I imagine her partner Pokemon would be Chansey. And then May and Raboot, because I think Raboot's personality reminds me of Marin's personality, and they have very similar resting faces. So they probably would have a little bit of a rivalry, but I think that would make them really iconic. Back on this page is what sparked me to do this prompt for day 8, was that on this day I also drew the partner Pokemon I think Simon would have, and that is Oricorio, because he gives flying type energy for some reason. The yellow Oricorio really reminds me of Simon, particularly because of Simon's hair. So, yeah. Day 9 was playing an instrument, and I was like, which of my characters would play an instrument? And I decided that, Violet seems like she would play an instrument. And then I was like, well, what kind of instrument would Violet play? So I think a flute kind of suits her demeanor and personality. So I just did some doodles. I did a doodle of her playing the flute, and then just some doodles here on the bottom of just Violet. I like this one a lot. I like this doodle of like her face. It's pretty cute. Day 10 was dreams, but I didn't have any idea for dreams, to be honest. So what I did was I just doodled what I was just thinking of in the moment. And I thought of this little like interaction between Violet and Simon, where she's like, I'm gonna kill him! Like she's being really mad at somebody. And then Simon's like, no you are not. If you want a good representation of their dynamic with each other, this is it, bro, this is it. I had the intrusive thought of what would Simon's hair look like if it was down or if it was wet, because Simon has this very anime, floofy, cartoony looking hair. What would his hair look like if it was down and wet? So that's what these doodles were. And then this is me experimenting with Simon's profile. I wanted to give him a more unique nose shape, especially more prominent in his side profile. So that's what I was playing with here. And then wet hair Simon down here. Next page! This is a bunch of days in one, but I made it look kind of cool and like a manga page kind of. So let's dive into it, guys. Let's dive into it. Day 12 was Carnival. So I drew Simon and Violet, obviously, because I love them. And they are on a carnival ride that I think Simon really had to convince her to go on, because she was like, that's stupid, bro. I'm not gonna pay money to sit on a ride for 2 minutes. But then once they're on it, she's like, I admit, this is pretty cool. And then he's like, see, I literally knew you would like it. This was just a doodle down here of Violet being angry and yelling, objection! For no reason in particular. I think I just wanted to draw her being angry. This is Simon making a little kissy face because he's so silly. This is Simon making a expression where he's like, gah! Day 13 was Vine. And because I am a Gen Z, chronically online, when I hear Vine, I think of iconic old vines. And when I think of iconic old vines, I think of road work ahead. Yeah, I sure hope it does. So I recreated that vine was Simon saying it, and then a little panel here saying that Violet was the one recording him do that, and then she's like, bruh. That's their dynamic. Yippee! Day 14 was sweater, so I kind of played around with giving my OC May a sweater-inspired outfit. Unironically, I love these sketches so much. I love drawing May so much, bro. She's so fun to draw. This is her making the bruh face, because she also would make a bruh face. Unironically, one of my favorite pages, bro. I love her. This is a drawing I did with my acrylic paint pens, and this is some concept world building art for my OC story. And then these are some doodle plannings of my OC column, because I am currently redesigning him. Ree-hee-hee. More doodles of OC planning, redesigning. This is me trying to figure out how I want Bennett to look. He's still a work in progress though, so we're gonna move on. Day 15 was dinner party, and I wanted to take the opportunity to sketch out how I think each of my OCs would eat. So you know that one like audio from like a year ago where it was like somebody like burping and then the girl was like, excuse me? Like all cutesy and stuff? That is actually 100% my OC Marin. She would have the most loud, atrocious burps and then counter it with, excuse me. May, I drew her drinking tea, looking very judgy and sticking up her pinky because that is her for real. And then at the bottom, it is Violet and Simon eating fast food, probably into the early hours of the morning. I imagine that Violet would sit all slouchy and cool. She's eating some French fries. Yummy wummy. And yeah, that was day 15. Day 17, I think it was like plant or garden related. So I took a bunch of my pens and highlighters and I just drew some like plant related things all over the page. And then I doodled my OC May on top. That was day 17. And then over here, this is some more planning for my OC column. I made this little comic because I wanted to kind of show column and Marin's dynamic. And it's supposed to be like Marin saying something like super silly and out of pocket, and then just like yapping, and then he's like, I think I found my wife. But specifically said in that way. It has to be said, I think I found my wife. And then Bennett planning, and then some outfit planning for column, and his clothes are literally giving me the biggest headache ever, bro. I don't remember which day this was, but the prompt was your OC as a mythical creature. So I used my acrylic paint pens and I drew my OC Marin as a unicorn. Listen, I'm bringing back my My Little Pony roots with this one. I don't really draw ponies, so don't look at the anatomy too close. Just look at the cute little girl being a cute little unicorn. Because I was feeling a little friendship is magic moment, I put glitter all over the page just to add to the unicorn ooh-woo moment I was having. This is some doodles of my OCs, Simon and Violet. Hee hee hee. They just have a really heartbreaking story, and they're so like connected one another because they share the same fate. So this is them like kind of understanding that the other person is the only other person in the world who can literally understand what the other person is going through. So that's some doodles going over that concept. And then this is over here on this page is day 19, and it's worst fear, because both of them at different points of the story, they both become aware of their fate, but this is when they actually die. This is them dying for real. Yeah, it's kind of sad, low-key. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Day 20 was with significant other, and that's over on this page, but on this side, I was drawing in my notes. I was doing some sketches of my OC column because I was still trying to figure that guy out. Like, I really like this one. And then for day 20, I kind of came up with the concept of showing him evolving into the character he becomes and we meet in the story. So I decided that out of my OCs, Column is my redemption arc OC. He starts off as kind of a bratty guy who is kind of mean and entitled and just has a very skewed view of the world until that view becomes clear to him as to what the reality is, and he wants to change and become a better person. And then the Column we meet in the story is him trying to actively change who he is and become better. And that's thanks to Marin, because I love it when two characters inspire each other to be a better person themselves and inspire each other to live. I guess I should say it too. Marin and Column are my couple OCs. They are the ones who were the canon couple of my characters. So feel free to ship them. Day 21 was onesie. I tried to draw like my OC May in like a onesie-ish outfit. I just don't like how I executed it. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I really do like this doodle, especially like her face. I think it's really, really cute. And then down here, I drew her in like a short little bun because she's so cute. I do prefer her hair down, but I think this doodle and this doodle are really cute. This drawing was not from a prompt, but you know, sometimes when you're an artist, you listen to music and you have a vision of your head of your character to the lyrics of the music. This is that moment for me. I was listening to the song Lovesick by Lauvi, and I was like, I want one of my characters to be singing this song. So I just drew Violet being all dramatic in a scene and like saying the lyrics of the song. So yeah, that was that. Day 22 was game night, and I turned it into like my OCs having like a Halloween party, and they're all dressed up in costume. So May is a vampire, Violet is a pirate, Simon's like an underwater sea monster thing, Bennett's like a Frankenstein zombie corpse thing, Column is a mummy, and then Marin is a princess because she does not like scary things. I'm still cooking on Bennett's design, but this is basically all of them. Day 23 was weapon of choice. So the first image, I kid you not, that came to my brain was May with a gun. So I drew May with a gun, and she's saying hands up because she's just cool like that. But then canonically, my OC Column is a skilled sword fighter, so I drew Column with a sword. Yep, I like his face here, actually. I really like the way that I drew Column's face here. Yippee! Those were those days. Day 24 was Midnight Adventure. It's Column and Marin, and it's like the woods in the middle of the night, and they're both like panicked because they heard a noise. And Marin's like, what was that? She's a little fraidy cat. Day 25 was Good Luck Charm. Because of Column's character arc, his glasses kind of represent the person he used to be, and he doesn't wear them anymore just because he heavily associates them with the person he no longer wants to be. So this is like Marin holding on to his glasses. So it's kind of like a comic. She's like holding it, and then she's like, aw, like thinking about him. But then she gets curious and then holds them up to like look through the glasses to see what it looks like through them. And then she takes them off and she's like, dang, his eyes really suck. Because she realizes that he has really bad eyesight. So bro is actually kind of blind now, but you know. Day 26 was to draw your OC as a horror character. So I took my OC Violet and I kind of just did a bunch of doodles that were kind of meant to be horror game character inspired. This one's like really unsettling. This one is too. It's like, hello Simon. I think this one right here is the most unsettling to me with like the gaping open mouth. Something about that combination is just really freaky and unsettling to me. So yeah, that was day 26. Day 27 was what's in their bag. And then my first thought, again, was May with a gun. So I continued the theme of May with a gun. Someone off camera is asking, what's in your bag? And then she's like, a gun. I'm probably the only person who finds this funny, but it is extremely true to character. This is some doodles of my OC column because I'm getting to a place where I'm no longer seeing his old design as him, but I'm starting to see the new design as him, you know? The next hurdle I need to tackle is just finding an outfit for him that I like, but I'm pretty pleased with like his face and his features and his hair, and yeah. Day 28, yeah, to be honest, I don't remember what the prompt was for day 28. I just remember that I did not like the prompt for day 28, and I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna draw what I want. And I was thinking of the ending scene from the movie Your Name, and I guess spoilers for Your Name, but this is what the characters say to each other at the end of the movie. Taki turns to her and he's like, have we met before? And then Mitsuha and says, I thought so too. But instead of Taki and Mitsuha, it's Colum and Marin because they're my couple OCs, teehee. I actually really like the color combination I went with for this. Green water-based pen as my sketch, and then I cleaned it up with a pink pen, and then I like did line art with a black pen, and I think that overlay effect looks pretty cool. Day 29 was tattoos, and I cooked up the idea that because Simon and Violet are inspired by the sun and moon, that they both would have a tattoo of their respective thing they're based off of. So this is Simon with like a giant sun on his back. It's like part of his character that tattoo has always been there as a reminder of his fate. Violet does also have a moon tattoo. I just haven't done any art of it yet, but they both have tattoos of their respective thing that's connected to their fate. And this is Simon, guys. No simping. I'm so silly. Day 28 was pumpkin carving, and I drew my OC May because I had canoned that she would get super frustrated pumpkin carving. This is her trying to cut open the pumpkin, failing and getting frustrated, and then straight up blasting away Team Rocket style the pumpkin because she is just frustrated and done. Yeah, she is silly. I love May. She kind of gets really angry really easily, and I love her. And day 31, the final day of OC-tober. And the prompt, I think, if I can recall, was to draw them in costume. But because a couple prompts back, I did already draw them all in costume, I decided to insert Marin and Colum into the ending scene of Nightmare Before Christmas instead of Jack and Sally. But I redrew the scene so it had my characters, Marin and Colum. I used my acrylic paint pens, and then I used like a clear coat spray just to help preserve the paint. But yeah, this was my final day of OC-tober. I keep finding myself looking over at this page and just staring at it. That probably means that I do like this page, but yeah, I actually finished this at like midnight because I was so determined to finish OC-tober, and I did it, guys. I did it. I finished OC-tober. But yeah, that was all my traditional OC-tober drawings. Back to you, editing share. That was incredibly long. Sorry about that. I also want to preface again that all of this artwork was created in October, And since I have started workshopping and changing some of my OC's designs, outfits, clothing, color schemes, so don't become too attached to the designs you see in this video, as majority of them are subject to change and some of them are actively being changed. Mainly Simon and Colum and Bennett. All the male characters in my story are just getting a makeover. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed my OC-tober art. I had a lot of fun doing OC-tober this year. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next video, whenever that is. So bye-bye and later.